Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if anybody will come in, but I have to brag for a minute. Um, Let me put it back up here. Turn my camera around. Okay. Dylan sent me a message saying, "Tell Papaw I'm going to be late." So, being mom, I said, "Why?" He said, "The bus and I have a story." I said, "Bad or good story?" He said, "I don't know. That's up to you." I said, "Might as well tell me now if I'm going to be mad now, not no." He, he told me, he said, "I stood up for a teacher who was getting cussed at by a student. I couldn't fight the kid because of my age, but the teacher said thank you to me, and Rice says he was proud." I said, "Okay, so why is the bus late?" He said, "Not the bus is late because of Galleon for some field trip." And then, of course, I asked him, "Are you on the bus now?" Because I called my dad to tell my dad that Dylan was going to be late. And of course, he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Where are you at now?" He said, "Almost to Galleon. I get a free drink tomorrow." And I said, "Cool." He says, "Yeah, it pays off standing up for people." And I said, "Yes, it sure does." I am so proud of my son right now. This is coming from a kid that would not stand up for himself here in Galleon City schools. And he actually stood up against somebody today for a teacher. Tell me that's not my boy. I am so excited. Cutie, thank you for coming in. But yeah, Dylan actually stood up to someone today at school for a teacher. So I am so happy. So, so happy. I had to call my dad and tell my dad the bus was going to be late, but at least he's starting to stick up for himself. That is a big accomplishment for Dylan. For 6 years in Galleon City schools, that child never once stuck up for himself. And today, he stood up for a teacher. I am so proud of him right now. That's my boy. Makes mama's heart feel good that he's actually doing something right for once. This is coming from a kid that would not stand up to nobody when he was here in Galleon. Nobody, because he was always like, "Well, Mom, I'm bigger than them. I might hurt them." Dylan, I always told him it's only going to take one good time for you to knock those kids on their ass, and they'll leave you alone. And "Mom, I'm so much bigger than all of them. I'll hurt them." And he wouldn't fight back here in Galleon. And then today he tells me he stood up for a teacher at school that was getting cussed out by another student. And he couldn't do nothing because the kid was underage and he's 18, but he did stand up for the teacher. I'm telling you, he has shocked me so much in the last year and a half. Dylan has grown up a lot. I mean, before, me and my dad and my sister thought there was no way Dylan would ever be able to hold down a job. He's done that. He's excelling in school, which honestly, I never thought my kid would graduate. If he would have kept going the way he was here in Galleon, he wouldn't have graduated. And Dylan sure wouldn't stick up for himself. And today he stood up for a teacher. I am so proud of that boy right now. You know, we have graduation coming up here May 24th. And you want to talk about a bitch be ballin'? That day I will be. But they will be tears of joy. Because honestly, I never thought I would see my kid graduate. I didn't. But my baby's going to be graduating. He's 18. And he did something today that I never thought. If it would have been the old Dylan that was still here in Galleon City Schools, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. I cannot say enough good things about the Tomorrow Center where Dylan goes. I can't. They have done a complete 180. Thank you, cutie. I'm not going to stay on long. I just had to pop on real quick and brag for a minute that, my child has finally found his voice. My child is standing up for people. And I'm so proud of him for that. Because the old Dylan, like I said, would have never done that. And when I got the message that the bus was late, I thought, oh Lord, what's happened now? But it wasn't a bad thing. It's just that the bus got back from the field trip later, so they were later getting up there to the school. But yeah, Dylan stood up for a teacher against another kid that was cussing that teacher out. And that's my baby. That's my baby boy. He might have a little bit of his mama in him yet. But I just had to pop on. This isn't going to be a long stream. Oh, I did an hour stream earlier, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even realize it was that long. It's the longest stream I've done. But this was just a quick pop on. Tell you guys how happy I am and the milestones that Dylan has made, and hop off, because right now I'm one proud mama. My child stood up against another student for a teacher today. He wouldn't even defend himself when he was here in Galleon. I'm telling you, the Tomorrow Center, where he goes, they are a godsend. I love that school down there. Dylan has done a complete 180 from Galleon to the Tomorrow Center. And let me see here. They just sent a paper home yesterday. Originally, graduation was scheduled for May 17th, but they had to move it because of the snow days. Dylan will be graduating May 24th, 2019 at 6 p.m. Now, the school he goes to, we pay no school fees. They supply all the supplies that the kids need. Books, calculators, pens, pencils, paper, whatever it is they need, they supply it up there. Well, also in that letter, they're supplying their cap and gowns and tassels for them to graduate. I mean, this school is so awesome. I love it. And that was the best decision I think I ever made, was to pull Dylan out of Galleon City Schools and send him down there to the Tomorrow Center. When I sent him down there, he was a freshman. A freshman now. He could barely add and subtract. Couldn't count money. And where he was in the classes, because of his head injury, and he learns a lot slower than other kids. But ninth grade, and still, his spelling words before I moved him out of Galleon was the, and, by, hi. I'm like, this is a freshman in fucking high school. Are you kidding me? These are the words that you are giving these kids? Dylan has made leaps and bounds from Galleon when I pulled him in ninth grade and started him down there at the Tomorrow Center. And honestly, Gallion told me that most likely Dylan would not graduate if he would have stayed here at Gallion. He wouldn't have. And he has pulled himself together and has passed all of the curriculum with the help of them down there. They have smaller class sizes so they can work more one-on-one with the kids that actually needs the help. And my baby's graduating. But I just had to pop on real quick and brag a little bit. But he said he was almost to Gallion when I talked to him last, so he should probably be there by now, which means Dad will be dropping him off anytime. So I'm going to hop off here, but I just wanted to say I was one proud mom.